Hello, gentlemen. How are all you doing this fine Tuesday evening? It is Tuesday. That means that we are done with 2 weeks of the Uncle Fantasy Football League. I apologize in advance for the rushed nature of this video. I apparently left my power cord at Tony's house last night, and I'm gonna die. So I'm just gonna get through this in a reasonable manner instead of talking for 13 minutes like I usually do. 2 weeks down. Congratulations to this week's winners, in no particular order. Paul. We also had Willer. I know, right? We also had Joffrey. We had myself, obviously. And we had Noonan. I don't play until week 7, so I expect one of you poor suckers to stop him from winning, because clearly this cannot continue. You've all received new awards this week. I'd like to take this time to go through them. Matchup number 1, we had JJ and Willer. Willer this week wins the Golden Taco, named for Taco from the league. If you don't watch the league, you should start watching the league. Projected very low. Scored pretty well. JJ, you win your second consecutive lull of the week for losing to Willer. Look at your life. Look at your choices. Matchup number 2, we had Paul defeating Kenmore Dave. Paul wins the high score of the week, so seriously, for the first time in my life, genuinely, well done, Paul. Kenmore Dave wins the best loser for having the highest losing score. Shit happens. In matchup number 3, Joffrey went over Wahala. Joffrey wins the solid B+ award for having a very average winning score. That's alright. Wahala wins the Your Players Fucked Up award of the week for Colin Kaepernick, doing absolutely nothing for him Sunday night against Seattle, a game that's decided by 16 points when your quarterback doesn't show up. Bro, players fucked up. Is what it is. Matchup. I don't want to talk about this matchup, but I'm going to anyway. Matchup number 4, we had Noonan defeating Dan. Dan, what the hell? I know we talked about this Sunday and last night, but dude, what the fuck? Come on. First of all, Noonan gets the second lowest score of the week and wins because he's lucky. That's it. I've determined. I mean, there were 3 losing teams this week that beat him. 4 losing teams this week that beat him. Dan gets the cone of shame. He asked me to make a blue. I didn't. Because you don't deserve it. Noonan wins the biggest beatdown award. I was going to give him the Golden Taco for the second week in a row, but then he won by the largest margin of victory. Solely based on Aaron Rodgers raping the Redskins. Speaking of raping the Redskins, I beat Tony. Wow, that's actually too offensive for me. I kind of feel bad about that. But I don't have enough battery to start this video over, so Native American oppression. Tony, bro, you played well. I'll give you that. Tony was beating me pretty badly Sunday afternoon by like a lot of points, and then by some great act of God, I pulled it off. So 2-0, first place in the league. I don't hate to say I told you so, because I actually love saying I told you so. So fuck all y'all. Tony wins the White Oppression Award of the week because, in spite of his best efforts and the fact that he probably deserved to win, I mean, one of my running backs got injured on the first play of the game. One of my running backs was Stephen Ridley. The white man still came out on top. So Tony wins the White Oppression Award as he falls to 0-2. I patted myself on the back again because I don't feel like giving myself actual awards. The fun factoid of the week is that last year's first, second, and third place teams are all currently 0-2, which is Kyle, who won, Tony came in second, JJ came in third. I don't know, I came in fourth and I'm doing just fine. Just saying. This week's official League Manager Fantasy Football team name changes from the Church of Purple Jesus to Mason Foster's Home for Imaginary Offense. Unfortunately, that didn't fit, so it's Foster's Home for Imaginary O. We all know what O stands for. They want the offense, whatever. So there's a GIF of Mason Foster running back an interception for a touchdown as my new team emblem. It was between that and Alteron Werner, who really carried my team this week. Defense. Take a brief moment here to preview next week's matchups, which I'm pulling up on my phone, so I can use as little battery as possible on this computer, because it's going to die in, like, legitimately 3 minutes. So I hope I get through this video. Paul will take on Tony. That's probably the best game of the week, other than the one I'm playing in. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one. Paul had the high score of the week, and Tony's players can only mess up so many consecutive times before he wins, so we'll see how that goes. Kyle will play Willer. Willer coming off his first win in a long time in this league. But, hey, momentum is everything. Kyle's got none, Willer's got some. Dan will play Joffrey. We'll see which version of Dan's team will show up. Could be the version that puts up the most points in the league, the version that puts up the lowest points in the league. It's a roller coaster. And then we got Noonan against Kenmore Dave. Kenmore Dave, I know you're new to this whole league thing, but it is your solemn duty to kick the crap out of Noonan's fantasy team. Seriously. No more of this. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear from him about how his team is actually good. It's not. It's terrible. And then finally, I get Justin. So JJ, remember that time we went to Canada to go see Uproar, and there was a Canadian drug dealer, and he was giving us free tickets and like super high and all that fun stuff? If you haven't heard the full version of the story, I would suggest to you that you ask one of us about it. It's great. Bro, before this upcoming Thursday through Monday, I would suggest you drive up to where he lives, about an hour north of Canada, figure out what his name is, because I don't remember it. Give him a buzz. Give him a little buzz on your cell phone there, so you can meet up. And then you can buy a bunch of drugs from him, so you don't remember what I'm about to do to your fantasy team this weekend. Because it's not going to be pretty. I'm in first place, you're in last place. Like Brandon Merriweather on Eddie Lacy. Like Deshaun Goldson on whoever he had to get suspended. Like a puma on a sickened rat. That is all. Until I speak again, remember me!